Much, Mr. Dade. Now we'll go to our questions and we'll begin with Mr. Kimmich for 6 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So I'm going to just begin by noting that Minister Freeland is not appearing today like she said she would many weeks ago. It's been many months since she had been asked by this committee to appear on the Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank. So I just want to put on the public record the profound disappointment on the Conservative side that she has chosen to not be here again when she would have known and much ahead of time that she was going to be expected to be somewhere else, and that she did not provide a new date on which she would appear to testify before the committee on exactly what's going on with Canada's participation in the Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank. So, Mr. Dade, I'm going to have to ask you to excoriate the government on LNG, because you wrote back in December 2022 an opinion piece with the CEO of the Foundation, Gary Marr. From a Western Canadian perspective, there are two major misses in the strategy. There is no mention of exporting LNG. And you go on, instead, the priority strategy pivots to renewables and hydrogen. Others have excoriated the government. I have to give you a chance as a Westerner to excoriate the government here as well.
I was really hoping to use the time for other things. No, I think it's, we have a strong stance. I think everyone knows the logic of that, and the problems with that have been described by others. Dr. Lilly is an honorary Westerner, so I could contribute this to her to some degree. But yes, time and time again, we hear from allies in the region the following question. Canada claims it wants to help. Canada claims it wants to be involved in the region. Canada claims to want to be able to contribute. Why then are you hoarding the one thing that we need most? Why are you hoarding energy? And trying to explain to folks, well, no, we're not hoarding it. They're just these political difficulties. And then folks say, well, you know, we're getting your gas from Mexico. Costa Azul has come online in Baja de California and Mexico. So if Mexico can send us your gas, why can't you? And it's a really difficult position to try and defend that. We worry about it from the security perspective. We worry about it from the competitive perspective, and we once again see the Americans eating our lunch, taking it off the table from us and eating it. If we don't produce it, someone else is. We're going to make greenhouse gas emissions worse by having places like Senegal, who's just discovered 11 trillion cubic feet of gas, exporting gas than if it's coming from Canada. We're doing no one any favors with this. We're probably harming the environment. So how's that for excoriating, even though I didn't want to?
I'd give you more time to do it as a Westerner. You can keep doing it. But you also wrote in 2023, in January, in the Globe and Mail, a critique of Canada's Indo-Pacific strategy, specifically for not making the proactive expansion of the CPTPP a priority focus area. But in 2024, Canada is taking over as Commission Chair for the CPTPP. So I'd like to hear from you as a Westerner. At the end of this year, what does failure look like, and what does success look like? What are the metrics? What do you think the government has to do right, and what will failure look like by end of year if it doesn't do that?
Sure. Let me start by saying we're huge fans of the Indo-Pacific strategy. We think that it corrects a lot of things that we're missing or builds upon some of the successes in the America strategy. So we have very specific complaints. But on the TPP, look, what we need with the TPP is a degree of modesty. Leadership, trying to exercise leadership at the TPP would be failure. The region does not want Canada's leadership. The region does not need Canada's leadership. The region wants Canada to put its shoulder to the wheel and do the hard work of improving the agreement. There's a review of the agreement. What needs to be strengthened in the agreement? What needs to be changed? We have to start showing up and doing the unglamorous, hard work of building the agreement and doing the nuts and bolts. We're still digging ourselves out of the hole that the Prime Minister dug in Da Nang when he embarrassed the Japanese Premier Abe and had the Australians cursing us out in public. We're rebuilding from that. You don't do that with bold claims of leadership. You do it by showing up and doing the hard, unglamorous work. That's what success looks like. Failure looks like trying to claim leadership at a summit where people neither want it nor need it from us.
So you said about the hard work